Hello, my name is Matthias Kavodik. Welcome guys to my channel. Today we're going to talk about Morbius, the living vampire, a character that I really don't care too much for. I know the movie's coming out next week, and I don't think I'm going to go see it in the theaters. It's getting really panned. Like, it didn't come out yet, and the critics are just killing the movie. And here we have X-Men issue 24, where Morbius goes up against X-Men and Spider-Man at the same time. You know that Morbi doesn't have a chance in hell in defeating these guys. And the story is like one of those stories that's so bad it's good. Nothing makes sense to what happens to X-Men that we're going to get into a little bit. So the story is written by Kavanaugh. I can't remember for the life of me. I can't remember the writer's first name. All I do remember that he's tied to the crossover, the worst Avengers story ever. And Cruz is the artist. R. Cruz. I'm not sure if it's Roger Cruz or Robert Cruz or it's whatever Cruz, but I really like his art style, even though Spidey Peter Parker here looks really, really goofy. So the setup for the story, Spidey, sort of like a protege to X-Men. It's sort of a thing with Spider-Man over the years. Like, he has had younger heroes that are rookies that are way more powerful than Spidey, but Spidey takes them under his wing, shows him the ropes, how to be a hero, the whole responsibility, great power comes with great responsibility thing. And so he strikes up a relationship and a friendship with X-Men. So X-Men every once in a while would pop up in the Spider-Man series. Spidey would pop up in the X-Men series. So some shit happened to X-Men. He goes to Spidey for help, and he's become a vampire. He has vampiric urges. He can't be in the sunlight. He looks all evil. So he tells Spidey, look, I got bitten by a vampire. He describes what happens to him. Spidey thinks to himself immediately, it's Morbius. And then Spidey tells X-Men, like, hey, Morbius, he's not really a vampire. He's sort of a weird thing. And he doesn't convert you into a vampire if he bites you. But so X-Men, here's where the writer just starts to flounder. He's like, okay, but maybe due to my telepathic powers, we did sort of like a mind swap or whatever. Now I think I'm a vampire. It's like a psychosomatic thing. It just doesn't make sense. But the issue is now X-Men has vampiric urges, even though it seems it's all in his head. Then we have like two B plots, a B and a C plot. First, we have Madeline Pryor. She had died during the Inferno crossover, but when X-Men came into the main Marvel Universe, after escaping the Age of Apocalypse, X-Men accidentally brings her back to life. Now she's running around with the Hellfire Club. She's courting Sebastian Shaw. She has had some level of conflict with Tessa, who was like the right-hand lady to the Black King, and also with the Black Queen. It was actually really interesting. And then this is going to lead up to the whole confrontation between Madeline Pryor and Jean Grey. That was pretty awesome. And in another subplot, we have, I've always called this character Theranoid my whole life. I have dyslexia, so I could read something wrong and think it's that way forever until someone corrects me. Until the other day I sat down to read this. Actually, it happened previously with another story that I was working where this character pops up. And I discovered her name is actually Theranoidy. Not Theranoid, it's Theranoidy. But her powers are really, really messed up. She actually feeds off the energy of people when they're dying. So you can see her like walking around hospitals and she feeds off the dead and sort of like nudges people into dying in the first place. And then after going to the hospital, she goes to the Sally full of drug addicts and she starts feeding off them. And in the other story that I actually saw her, she actually teams up with Deadpool. Since Deadpool kills so many people, she's like flipping out on all the death energy that she's receiving. The thing is, during this time, she's sort of X-Men's friend. It's complicated because she has ties to Sinister. So X-Men's trying to find her. And Morbius, when he bit X-Men, and he did this weird mind swap that's not very well explained. Now Morbius is also obsessed with Theranoidy, not Theranoid, Theranoidy. So now we have X-Men that even his powers seem to be different. Now they're red instead of yellow. Flipping out that he has all these vampiric urges. Spider-Man's like telling him, like, you're not a vampire. Chill out. So we get a confrontation first. Morbius hunts down Threnody, tries to feed off her, and feed off all this wholesome death energy that she has accumulated. And we get the big showdown with our heroes, and Morbius gets obliterated with one shot. He doesn't stand a chance with X-Man. The fight is over. And again, like, the story is just really dumb, especially the setup. It just feels really forced. For some reason, Marvel just really wanted to push Morbius, because after this, Morbius pops up in a couple of Spider-Man titles and stuff like that. He's sort of like making his big comeback. That happens to Morbius every couple of years, that they're going to push him all over the place and he just disappears because there's a lack of interest, and they push him again and so on and so forth. So I'm going to leave this here. Like, the X-Men series in general, it was pretty good. Like, having not all this stuff was terrible. Like, he did a good job. This was just a filler issue that just didn't make any sense. Why the hell X-Men thought he was a vampire? But outside of that, it's a lot of fun in general. X-Men as a character, I find him pretty fascinating. So see you guys next time. Bye.